today, my children! When last we entered the tomb of Dracula, the Count had been tricked into a magic mirror that could send him back to the distant past, only to be lost in a dimension between time periods. Will the Count escape his fate? Well, there are still another 70 issues of this series, so... Dracula did not travel through the mirror alone, as the recap page reminds us, taking Rachel Van Helsing's mute servant Taj along with him. Dracula ends up in an otherworldly realm, the space between spaces, and must fend off the demonic beings that would rip him and Taj apart. Indeed, while at first Dracula cares not for the human who has been pulled along for the ride, he soon realizes that Taj may be his only sustenance while he is trapped in this realm, and thus must rescue him. This, my children, is why it's always important to pack some snacks before going on a long trip. Taj must follow behind Dracula as he cleaves a path across the demon-filled wastelands, seeking another mirror by which they can escape. Back in the present, Rachel Van Helsing and Frank Drake realize that Dracula must have known a secret incantation to enter the Black Mirror, and that if they could learn that incantation, they can pursue their enemy. They quickly locate Whitby, Ilsa Strangway's butler, who I guess has just been here this whole time napping, and he informs them of a book, a grimoire of magical spells that might allow them entry, that Ilsa Strangway had acquired. It is stored in a safe, and only she knew the combination. But they go to check anyway. Dracula, meanwhile, reaches some sort of hellish temple, and within it, another black mirror to which they can escape. Dracula and Taj arrive in Transylvania, sometime after Van Helsing had staked him, but still within his original time. He stores Taj in a coffin for now in case he needs him later. After seeking out and biting the neck of a peasant, Dracula looks for Van Helsing, hoping to take his revenge, but it seems his enemy has gone to Bucharest for a week. He withdraws to his old castle, taking note of a bottle of blood that stores an old lover of his, Lenore, and how he may need her someday. But for the moment, he must rest in his coffin of earth. The villagers discover the dead peasant and know that somehow Dracula has returned. They argue into the night whether they should try to slay Dracula themselves or wait for Van Helsing to return. And as a result, when they do come bearing pitchforks and torches, Dracula is already well rested and ready to force them into retreat. Back in the present, Rachel and Drake are fortunate. The safe is unlocked and its hinges rusted, allowing them entry and access to the grimoire. Using it, they can actually properly pinpoint where Dracula would have gone. Sure, they could follow into the demon world, but they'd be destroyed, and it's unlikely Dracula would stay there. Rachel figures that he would go back to his own time, probably before her grandfather killed him, and soon follow him to the past. They find and free Taj from the tomb, bringing him to the village to help him recover. Dracula spots all this and frees his Lenore, instructing her to go and attack the time travelers while he goes after Van Helsing. Fortunately, they are able to drive her off and reach Dracula before he can attack the returning Van Helsing. Dracula and Lenore elect to flee through the Black Mirror again, and the trio, of course, are in hot pursuit. A lot of things happen this time, my children. Time travel, lost loves, demons, and yet it all retains everything we love about Marvel's Dracula tale.